At dawn, and Donkey trudged the dusty road, ears low, heart full of envy today. He watched lions rule the hills and wished fear would follow him as well. One day he found a lion's skin, cast off like an old cloak near reeds. He sniffed it, saw no owner, and felt a daring thought bloom inside him. "I will borrow their power," he said, and pulled the heavy hide over his back. The mane fell around his face. The tail brushed his legs like a royal banner. He walked into the valley, and the goats scattered, crying to the wind. Sheep leapt fences, and even dogs tucked tails and fled behind doors at once. The donkey stood tall, thrilled by the empty space his shadow seemed to command. He forgot his sore hooves, he forgot the cart, he tasted the sweetness of terror. Farmers glimpsed the shape and dropped tools, praying their eyes were wrong. Only the old mule stared longer, but chose silence and turned away slowly. The donkey learned quickly. A mask works best when the crowd wants to believe. He paced like a king, careful not to bray, careful not to stumble on stones. At night he slept proud, dreaming of crowns while the skin creased and dried. Each morning he returned, and fear opened paths before him like gates. Yet hunger grew bold. He wanted more than space. He wanted praise aloud. Near the river he met a fox and tried to look grand beneath the borrowed mane. The fox bowed, then narrowed its eyes as if listening for a true heartbeat. Still, the donkey enjoyed the bow, and arrogance rose like smoke in his chest. Days passed. The valley whispered of a lion that walked alone and spoke to none. Merchants chose other roads. Children stayed inside. The fields went quiet early. The donkey loved that quiet, mistaking it for respect instead of simple dread. Then one bright noon he saw a herd of mares and felt a foolish courage surge. He strutted toward them, and the mares bolted, but one young mare looked back with cold scorn. That glance stung him, and the donkey forgot caution. Pride pushed loud words up his throat quickly. He opened his mouth to roar like a lion, yet only a bray burst out, harsh and plain to all. The sound cracked the spell at once, like clay breaking in cold water before every eye there. The mares stopped, startled not by lion shape, but by the common voice they knew too well. From the hedge the mule returned, and the farm dogs circled in close, barking with relief. Men ran from the barn with ropes, no longer praying, but laughing at their own fear aloud. The donkey tried to run, yet the heavy skin slipped, twisting his legs and stealing balance fast. He fell into dust. The mane dragged over his eyes, the false tail tangled in thorns behind. A farmer grabbed the loose hide and shouted, "So, this is our lion, and donkey in costume, then." They pulled the skin away, and daylight touched his plain back like a verdict, simple and final. The donkey trembled, smaller than before because his borrowed greatness had eaten his own courage. Someone raised a stick, but the old mule stepped between and lowered its head, asking for mercy. He carried loads without complaint, the mule seemed to say. Do not let shame become cruelty. The farmers paused, then tied the donkey to a post, not to punish, but to keep him from more folly. All afternoon the donkey listened to birds and carts and heard how ordinary sounds can be honest. He remembered the first fear he caused and felt it now as a weight on his chest, heavy and cold. That evening the mule spoke softly. Strength is not the roar you borrow, it is the work you keep. If you want respect, it said, earn it with steady steps, not with a hide you did not grow. The donkey lowered his ears and answered with silence, because silence was safer than excuses then. Next day he returned to his cart, and the road felt long, yet it belonged to him again at last. When his hooves ached, he rested. When loads were light, he helped another and asked no praise. And in time, the valley forgot the fake lion, but remembered the lesson the bray had revealed. Moral: borrowed power breaks fast. True character lasts, and it fits when the mask falls away.